Anxiety has become one of the most common struggles nowadays. We worry about the future, overthink the past, and stress about things we can't control. We're constantly bombarded by information, expectations, and comparisons that push our minds into a state of chaos. But long before the age of smartphones and social media, ancient philosophers were already dealing with the same root problems. The Stoics, especially thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, offered practical tools to deal with what we now call anxiety. Their teachings weren't abstract theories, they were survival guides for the mind. Stoicism teaches us one simple but life-changing principle: control what you can, let go of what you can't. This might sound cliché in the modern world of self-help quotes, but for the Stoics, this was a foundational truth. When you feel anxious, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, if it's someone else's opinion, the outcome of an event, the state of the economy, the behavior of others, then your role is not to fix it, but to free yourself from its grip. The more we try to control the uncontrollable, the more powerless we feel. That's where anxiety is born. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." Most people never draw that line. They act as if the entire world should bend to their emotions, and when it doesn't, they collapse. Stoicism invites you to draw that line clearly and focus your energy only where it counts: your actions, your choices, your thoughts, your character. When you do that, you begin to reclaim your peace. Modern anxiety often comes from the mind racing ahead, imagining every worst-case scenario. But the Stoics knew this trick of the mind. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And it's true. We rehearse disasters that haven't happened, react to insults that were never spoken, and lose sleep over futures we've only invented in our heads. Stoicism reminds you to return to the present moment, to what is real. Now, Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire and faced constant war and crisis, wrote in his journal, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That's not just philosophy. That's power. We live in a world that encourages emotional overreaction. Social media makes outrage a currency. We're told to express everything, to be offended by everything, to constantly react. But the Stoics chose something different: calm, restraint, inner discipline. They believe that emotions aren't evil, but being controlled by them is. When anxiety shows up, the Stoic doesn't panic. He observes it. He questions it. He investigates its source. And most importantly, he doesn't let it define his next move. One of the most underrated Stoic practices is negative visualization. This means imagining what could go wrong, not to scare yourself, but to prepare your mind. When you're mentally ready for setbacks, rejections, and loss, you no longer fear them. They lose their power over you. Ironically, thinking about bad outcomes makes you more resilient, not more anxious. It builds an inner fortress that panic can't penetrate. Modern life will never stop being chaotic. There will always be uncertainty, deadlines, noise, pressure, people who disappoint you, moments of fear. But you are not helpless in front of that storm. The Stoics didn't wait for the world to become calm, they learned to remain calm within. And that's the true cure for anxiety. You don't need another app, another distraction, another escape. You need clarity. You need stillness. You need to remember that most of the things you fear are shadows created by your own mind. And the light that dispels them? It's self-mastery. The ability to say, "This thought is not useful." The courage to let go. The strength to stay grounded in the middle of chaos. So when anxiety hits, don't run from it. Face it with the tools the Stoics left behind. Ask yourself what's in your control. Let go of the rest. Return to the present moment. Choose reason over reaction. Calm over chaos. This is how you make your mind unshakable. This is how you rise, not above life, but through it. Because anxiety doesn't get to rule you. Not if you remember what the Stoics already knew: you can't control everything, but you can always control yourself.